sure the parents at home are counting the days. It is day 3 of the kids being on winter break, most of them throughout Western New York. And in case you didn't plan anything or you tried to and it was too late, is it too late to start for the spring break that is coming up? We have Chuck Teal from Teal Travel to tell us, is it too late?
It's not too late. You've got to be very flexible at this point. The flights are really coming into play right now. There's just not a lot of availability left, so you got to be really flexible.
If you're not going to look towards a destination that is, you know, a popular one, where would you look to still have fun with the kids?
Well, I mean, we're talking the first part of April, so it really kind of limits yourself. You're past ski season. You're not quite to some of those, Virginia Beach, that type of area, because it's just not warm enough yet. So you're still back to the main destinations, whether it's Florida, Arizona, cruises. And there's still some opportunities there if you're flexible up, maybe driving to some of those spots.
Can you give us a hint on what are some of the places?
Yeah, actually, the one thing that we've kind of been able to help people out in the last few weeks is there's cruises available. Now, everybody thinks, oh, you got to get to Florida, get to Miami, what have you. They have cruises out of New York, Baltimore, Charleston. So now you're talking about 6-7 hour drive destinations, and then you can get on a cruise from there, and they go down to the Caribbean.
Oh, so you start at that location and then you just have to cruise down along the coast?
Right, right. So you may not get to the southern Caribbean, but you may get to the Bahamas. I know actually Port Canaveral, believe it or not, as a stop for some of those. So you can go to Disney for the day, or you can do the Kennedy Space Center, that type of thing. But yeah, you'll cruise down from either Baltimore or New York. So it makes it a little bit easier to get to.
Recently, the cruise industry has suffered a few hits, from the Costa Concordia in Italy to the food issue,
with Princess.
Yes, yeah. And then it was just kind of passed on to other passengers. What can you recommend in terms of choosing one?
Well, I mean, that can happen. I wouldn't say, it's just set to one cruise line. There was, the situation just arose, and it just happens they got the press for it. They do a great job with cruise lines as far as, cleanliness goes. I mean, they have the hand sanitizers, things like that. So really, I don't know if that really should be one of the big factors. It'll come down to, the islands that they're going to go to, or with families, if there's activities that the kids might like. So
this is my last question.
Okay.
If you're going to plan for next year, when should you start planning for the winter break, and when should you start planning for the spring break?
Okay, for spring break, State Spring 2013, we've got people that start planning literally when the kids go back to school in the fall.
Oh my goodness.
So we're looking at 6 months. For the winter break, you should be doing it now.
Now?
Yeah, you should be, because now the flights are out. It's time to. The flights always become the big thing in the grand scheme. So.
And it's fresh in your mind how crazy the kids are at
home. Exactly. This week especially, if you're not doing anything, right.
All right, Chuck Teal from Teal Travel, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll bring you back for summer break.
Okay.
All right.